Exploring careers in music. Jazz pianist. We welcome now Mr. Bob Hallahan, who is on the music faculty at James Madison University, and he has another thing that he does as a career in music, so he is going to talk to us a little bit about both of those things. So welcome, Mr. Hallahan.
How did you choose to do this?
Well, I grew up in a household where there was music. My father was an amateur jazz trombonist and also played in concert ensembles as well, wind ensembles and what have you. My mother sang in the choir, as did my father in church. And so I was exposed to jazz, but I really got into music via the Beatles. But I eventually branched out from there, and I was self-taught on guitar at the same time I'm taking piano lessons. So my first experiences outside of maybe singing in a chorus in middle school was musically to play guitar in a rock band, and then eventually in the jazz band at my high school. I decided I'd go to music school, and I was a piano major, but I was playing all my gigs on guitar. And I played in the jazz ensemble there. And the rest of my experience was with my peers, just playing gigs and putting stuff together on our own and sharing knowledge and techniques with each other.
Learning as you go and learning from each other.
Yep.
What do you find interesting and rewarding about doing, I guess we could say it would be gig work?
Yeah. Well, the variety of it, it's not like I go to the same place every time that I play and play with the same people every single time. Even when it's what we would call a steady engagement, like the same night every week at the same establishment, I might be playing with a different bass player from week to week, depending on who's available. I enjoy working with a variety of people, musicians, and getting to play for a variety of people. Most jazz musicians refer to this whole environment as the scene. I just enjoy being on the scene, and that's that's what I've missed the most during the pandemic, is not being able to participate in that. If I relied solely on that for my means of economic support, which I did for many, many, many years before I taught at JMU, the inconsistency of it, the unpredictability of it. Although I will say, at the same time, what's great about that is, you think, oh, I'm only going to make so much money this month. And by the end of the month, 2 or 3 other gigs have popped up that you weren't expecting. So you end up coming out ahead, So there's always the opportunity for something more. Trying to be prepared for whatever comes along. Maybe I'm not playing many gigs that require a lot of sight reading, and then suddenly one comes along where I have to do a fair amount of that, and it's like, oh, okay.
If somebody wants to do this kind of work, how do you prepare for it? What are the kinds of things you did to get ready?
Well, musically, expose yourself to the music. Just listen to it and follow your passion with it. I really firmly believe that the music will lead you wherever you need to go if you just pay attention. And, so maybe there's one particular artist that you like, find all their recordings, listen to them. And that's going to lead you to other artists and other styles. And now we have YouTube, where YouTube will do that for you.
Mm-hmm.
Just seek out wherever the music is happening live and get to know the people that are playing it. a bond will start to develop, and they'll say, oh, you know what? Actually, we need a piano player next week. Are you available? Could you do this? That's how I got my foot in the door, was through other musicians. And then certainly now you can be a jazz studies major, learn a lot of the things that you need to learn that I just had to learn teaching myself or from my peers.
Mhm. Well, thank you very much for talking to us about how to become a jazz musician or a gig player. And we wish you the best. And we also hope that maybe some students decide this might be something that you want to do.
I hope so too. Yeah.